Flood is was.
That's right.
Just
Yes.
Okay, where are your fingers?
Okay.
Okay. All right. So last week we talked about personal branding. Yeah?
Yes. So let me just introduce myself again.
Okay.
You're listening to Business Growth with RiRi, the show that gives business owners and entrepreneurs an unfair advantage. And proudly, we are sponsored by FCMB. Whoop, 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 whoop. So yes. On today's show, I'm going to be carrying on the discussion about how to build your personal brand. So last week we were talking about benefits, and this week we're going to be talking about strategies. And I also want to mention that we have more giveaways from our sponsors, FCMB. So please stay till the end to see how you can win, giveaways. Freebies, yes. So let me just define personal branding from Google, because we say Google is our friend. So personal branding is the conscious and intentional effort to create and influence public perception of an individual by positioning them as an authority in their industry, elevating their credibility and differentiating themselves from the competition to ultimately advance their career, their circle of influence, and a larger impact, and for business owners, their clients and customers. So last week we were talking about the benefits. Does anyone remember what I said about the benefits? Does anyone remember from last week? What are the benefits of building a personal brand? Anyone?
Well, I'm not sure I remember the words for word, but I know that you said you leave like a lasting impression.
That's
when
right.
you come out. You leave a lasting impression because you put yourself out there.
That's right. Yes.
And they trust you because they are able to put a face to the brand.
That's right. Exactly. And millennials, they want to see the face of the CEO or the person. So I said some other things. I said were that you become the first person in the mind of your target audience. So for example, I'm a business coach, and if everybody around Lagos starts to know who RiRi Okoye is, there will be so many others, but because I have manage my personal brand, I'll be the top of mind. It creates individuality in a crowded market, because remember how many people live in Lagos, how many millions,
19 million.
19. And it builds trust rather than a faceless screen. It controls perception, I said, and it positions you as an expert. And when you become an expert, you get greater credibility. So let's talk about the 5-step approach, because last week it was about benefits. So this week is about strategy.
Right.
So the first one I would say is that you've got to define your expertise. Because remember last week we asked that question. Especially being in Lagos, everything, we're all hustling. But at the end of the day, you still have to be an expert at something. Because if you don't, you'll be known for everything, So you've got to, I do so many other things, but right now my personal branding is all about the personal coach. So that means that you have to, you have to create tools, you have to do things, you have to research, go online, read books, go to dedicated niches to do with that personal brand that you're trying to create, perhaps attend seminars, attend forums, start a course, get certified, join clubs, engage with other people that are already at the top of at the top of their game. And then you've also got to build your portfolio. And what I mean by that is you've got to sort of, when people ask, what do you do? There's something called an elevator pitch. And that means that if you're in the lift with somebody and you're going to the top, you should be able to tell them in 1 minute what you do. So for example, mine is I empower SMEs with the confidence to master business skills to make a profit. So if I'm in a lift with somebody, that is a conversation, and they'll, if they're interested, it makes it more powerful. So that's what you've got to do when you're building your personal brand. Another thing that you've got to do is that you've got to go to all your social media accounts and then put what you do in your profile so that people actually know. So, whether it's on your IG, your Facebook, everywhere that you are on social media, make sure that your personal profile says what you do. Also, you have to, if there are any testimonials that people have actually had, engagement with you, make sure that you share it, because you want to be recognized as one of the most knowledgeable or skilled people in your field. That is what, when you create your personal brand, that is what you become. You become a leader. It's not just so much as making noise, but you're the go-to person in your industry. So perhaps if you're a makeup artist and maybe there's a way you design eyebrows, for example, and if you're that go-to person, everybody, like if you're getting people that want to get married or go for an event, they'll go to that makeup artist that just knows how to, bring your makeup out and make your makeup pop. So as I said, you have to define your expertise. So that's step one. So step two is all about defining your vision, your mission, and your SMART goals. So when I say vision, That is, what do you want to see happen in the next 5 years? I just remember recently I saw a video of myself, and I was talking about, expanding my brand, and that was 7 years ago. And I was saying, I want that everybody should just watch out because Rita's coming out. I didn't know that I was going to be on Inspiration FM in 2021, but you have to have a vision, because when you have your vision, it sort of sets you to the future rather than just being in the now. So being in the now, yes, that's your mission statement, which is showing what you actually do. But it's just so important to have a vision. Another important thing is having a SMART goal.
A SMART goal. What's that about?
So that's about having specific, measurable, realistic, and achievable, and time bound. So you're specific. What are you specifically going to do? What is that specific, expertise, personal goal, personal brand that you want to be? And then measurable. How are you going to measure it so that you make sure that it's really, you're tracking yourself? And it has to be realistic, because I can't say, like in six weeks I want to go out there and speak to 10,000 people. That may not be realistic, especially if you're starting out. So you have to really be realistic. Okay. And so and the T is for time bound. When do you want to do that by? So if it's by the end of the year, in 3 months time or so, you've got to sort of have a SMART goal for your personal brand. Okay. So that's step 2. Right. So step 3 is all about defining your strategy. And I remember a long time ago when I used to work in the BBC, we used to have this, we used to talk about it in this way. We'd say, where are you now? So where is your personal brand right now? Perhaps you're a new starter. People don't really know you that well. So you're going and you're getting certified and you're building up yourself and you're starting to send out educational material so that people know more about you, or you're coming on the radio. You're building yourself. Where do you want to go? That is all about, the vision, where you want to see yourself, and how you're going to get there. And the how is a strategy, isn't it? So what you do need, and we always say this in marketing, is you need a plan. You need a plan to get there. You can't just wake up and say, okay, I'm going to be a personal brand. You have to have a plan. So one of the things about the plan is define your target audience, because we know that there are 20 million Lagosians, but they're not all my audience, are they? So you've got to decide what they are, and that could be their age range, gender, all sorts of things, but you've got to build that target audience. Another thing is that you've got to build your message. So what is your message going to say? What are you trying to do out there? Because, for example, in my field, there's so many different business coaches. Some of them are specific in different areas. For example, I'm specific in marketing and sales. Then you get some people that are more specific in branding only. Some are specific in accounting. So you've got to decide for yourself, in terms of your personal brand, what is that exact message that you're going to put out there. So step 4. So once you've done your strategy and you know where you're going and how you're going to get there, you've now got to decide and design your personal brand. What is it going to look like? Who are you to the audience? When people ask you a question about yourself, what do they say? What is the common narrative that people are saying about you? And what is your name going to be? Some time ago I told you in one of our shows that there are so many Rita Okoyes. If you go to Facebook, there are so many. So I wanted my name to be RiRi Okoye, because that was my nickname anyway in the office. And so that is my personal brand. And it doesn't always often have to be your name. It can be anything, it can be. Before, it was I used to be called Ritzy at some point, especially Ritzy. People used to call me Ritzy. But I'm RiRi, so don't get it twisted, okay? Okay. And then you also have to have a unique selling point. So what is unique about you? Because there's so many people around. There's so many people for me as a business coach, there's so many people that are out there looking for so many people. So what is going to stand you out? What are you going to stand for? For me, I feel like I'm youthful, I'm fun, I'm creative, I'm confident. So when I'm designing and crafting my personal brand, that is what I want people to see. I may not be for everyone. Someone may see me and say, oh, she's too youthful, I need somebody more serious, So you're creating your personal brand to make sure that it connects with who you are. Now the 5th step is to market your personal brand. We talk about marketing. So marketing is everything that you do to make sure that your target audience or prospects can see you. So what does that involve? It can involve coming on the radio, can't it? Like this, and talking about what you do. It can be creating your own website. It can be having ebooks, podcasts, talk shows, social media. Social media is so, we've already talked about social media in previous episodes, haven't we? And we said it's really important to build your brand on social media because there's so many people out there, So the thing is that you've got to be persistent. And before we go to the break, I want to ask you a question. When people hear your name, what words do they associate with you? When people hear your name, what words do they associate with you? So when we come back from the break, there's a giveaway. So stay right. Don't touch that dial. We'll be right back soon.
Yes, we'll be back.
Thank you.
Starting and growing a business is not an easy feat, so you need all the support you can get. What if the right support were just a few clicks away? It actually is. Say hello to FCMB Business Zone. FCMB Business Zone is a one-stop online platform that gives you access to a wide range of business resources, including certified online learning, advisory services, escrow services, and so much more. What's more, you can make your business offerings visible to more customers by signing up as a merchant on FCMB Business Zone. You can also join any of our over 20 communities of interest and effectively grow your business network. To get started on the Business Zone, please visit businesszone.fcmb.com. Sign up on FCMB Business Zone today and get access to new opportunities to network, learn, and grow your business.
FCMB, my bank and I.
Hello and welcome back to Business Growth with RiRi. You are listening to Business Growth with RiRi, the show that gives business owners and entrepreneurs an unfair advantage. And as I said before, this show is proudly sponsored by FCMB, and we have giveaways. It's giveaway time. Okay, so please get out your phone, or if you're on your computer or your iPad, I want you to write this down, because the first 10 business owners to sign up will win a prize. So it's www.businesszone.fcmb.com/sign up using the referral code BIZ001.
So that's BIZ001, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Okay, got that. So let me tell you what's in store. You'll be rewarded with 1 year full subscription to Alpha Tech Solution. So you'll get a smart number, an IVR, and an IVM. And this is valued at $157,500 for 10 business owners. So that's 10 giveaways that they're giving out, and that's the full value. So let me go through what they are. So we've got the smart number. And you know, we've been talking about branding for the past few weeks, haven't we? So a smart number allows you brand your business number using an easy to remember alphanumeric number